Well, I'm out in a park. I ran 3 miles. I'm down by Abe Lincoln, but really I don't know if you see the Vietnam, not the Vietnam. That's the across the street in the back there. That is the World War II memorial, where they have a big stone for every state in the United States to do that. But I decided to try a live feed. I'm sorry I didn't tell more people about this, as I usually do it on YouTube, and then switch it over here to Let's Go Help, because YouTube, technically speaking, is easier. But I'm trying this. So my laptop, I walked. I don't run that much, so I walked with my laptop, and this make it easier. But I got some help, Let's Go Help members saying they were denied a SBA loan because of bad credit. Okay, so what do you do now? And that's the thing. Well, first thing, actually, the real answer is there's probably lots of things, and everybody has a different idea. Okay, but for me, it would be the following. Number one, is most of the government loans, even though they were giving us grants, they were still loans. So maybe they're looking at it as a loan. So like the EDIL, emergency money, there was a grant to that. So you got that grant, and then were asked if you want to also get a loan. So maybe if you weren't eligible for a loan, they wouldn't even give you the grant. So maybe that was the reason. Now the PPP, which turns out to be a grant, they give you a loan and then they forgive it if you use the money for employee expense. So that's really like a loan too. Now, so one thing to do is start looking for other grants. Only grants, not these pseudo grants that are really turn out to be loans. So, because you remember, a grant you don't have to pay back. So what the hell does the government or anybody care how good your credit score is, unless you're some real shady person? So that's less important to somebody who's giving you money and doesn't expect it to come back. So that's where you do. Okay, where do you find them? Okay, if you're a Let's Go Help member, I'll send you a report that shows you this. But here, if you're not, don't worry, because here's where you go. Number one, you go to your state. Now here's the office at your state, because see, states and local governments, they have more grants, by number than the federal government has. So you want to check those organizations. And here's the organizations within your state you go to. So your state government has something called a Economic Development Office. So you're looking for the state. Say you live in Missouri, so you're looking for the Missouri Economic Development Office, okay? And you check the programs there. Do they have grants, or maybe they have easier loans? They may have loans like for people who are in financial trouble. You can't guess what people have, until you go and see. So that's why you have to go and see what is there. And what happens is they'll have stuff that you didn't even know was there. And hey, I'll have one of those too. And that's the beauty of all this. That's what makes it important that you go. Okay, the other thing then, your county has the same thing. Now at the county level, it's usually called economic development or community development. See, that's where the two offices are. So you can Google that and see. And the most important thing, see, they have people. All these governments have people just to help you personally with your business if you're starting or growing. So you have 3 places you could get professional help from people who just help people like you and do it for free. Why do they do it for free? Because they want you to start, the government pays them, so they're getting a grant to do it for free, and they want you to start a business because you'll create a job for yourself. Then they don't have to worry about creating jobs because you're creating a job for yourself. Or you're going to grow your business and hire other people. So that's the name in the in the governments, is how many jobs can we get for people? Because if you have a job and you're happy, you're not going to bitch and vote people out of office. So that's why all the elected officials, all the government offices, they all want to create jobs, and you're there trying to create either one job for yourself or hire other people and create many jobs in the neighborhood. They'll love that. Now, how much they love it and how much money they give it depends. So, but if you open the door, say, hey, I'm trying to start a business. And when you go to these offices, don't say, hey, yeah, I need $50,000 that I don't have to pay back so I can start this. No. You don't say that, because you just sound like a greedy sucker. And nobody wants to deal with somebody that selfish and greedy and everything. So what you want to do, you want help. You need to get help starting your business. That's what you started out. Because if you go that way, then they know you're not there as a vacuum cleaner to suck money out of people. Maybe you are, but and that's, I mean, they realize that. But how you do it is so important, and also if you do it the other way, because they're going to say, no, we don't have $50,000 for you, but you don't know who you are yet, or they don't know, and things like that. So what you want to do is leave the door open, and you do that by, hey, I need help starting a business. Can you help me? Or is there an office you could suggest that could help me start my business? I mean, it could be making masks in your basement, or you have a new world diggy machine that creates energy. Anything you got. Say, I want to start that. Now, if they're not the office, they'll point you to an office that does that. See, that's another thing. Also, when you get to the office, what your mission is to find out what help is available. Because, say, you're saying one thing you have, and they may have another thing. And see, if they have oh, no, we only have grants for training money. Well, you all of a sudden, 10 grand train is probably what could be very helpful, right? So you learn about new things you should be asking for. So that's it. So that's how to find all the programs. And most states, counties, and cities, or actually a lot of them, have COVID money for businesses that are struggling. So you're trying to start a business and you're trying to get a grant or a loan, and they said no to get through this stuff. No, they have things like reopening grants. Because now the COVID closed down, now you got a reopening. So I have them. So many people I know, members, have said, since COVID's happened, my business went down the toilet. Okay, so you're probably eligible for a reopening grant. Grant. You don't have to pay it back. Okay, and that's what's so neat. The COVID's programs are all now calling everything a grant. It wasn't like that before COVID, tell you the truth. All the other things were the free money didn't have to pay back. Wasn't even called grants. So that's good. So you got 3 places right there. And there's a lot of nonprofits that help. There's a lot of actually rich people. I mean, organizations. Facebook has $10,000 of grants they're giving out to small businesses to redo it. Home Depot has that, things like that. So that's why when you're searching for this, you want to use, and that's all because of COVID. What's happening in private sources giving out grants. It's fat cats feeling guilty. They feel that they should give back some money that people are struggling. Okay, well, that's going to have the word COVID in it. COVID. So you're looking for COVID grants business or COVID relief business. They're the two. And the two things you do. So you go to Google, and I just did a video, I guess this morning, about people who need money for the mortgage. I couldn't pay the mortgage. So that's right. You go into Google and you put COVID, grant, business, and then you Google. But before you Google, so you want to get rid of all the crap that's there, because you're going to get 20 million websites, and that's going to kill you, and you won't do anything. Because you just get people that want to get money from you, because that's how Google plays, right? Google plays, people advertise, and their stockholders get rich, okay? So, and they get that from advertising money. People who advertise are getting money from you. So anybody who has an ad on Google is really trying to get money from you. So you got to find the people who don't have ads, okay? So this is one way, particularly in the state and local governments are giving out grants. They don't have advertising money. Nonprofit organizations, they don't have advertising money. So that's who you have to find. And you do that by when you put the Google in, you go down to the advanced tab in the Google search, and you look for, I guess, settings or advanced. It's advanced. I think maybe the first word are settings, then when you go in, it's advanced. And when you go there, it shows you how long. So do you want it for, just all the websites that were put up in one day? All the websites are put up in 1 week, 1 month, or forever? See, normally if you don't choose anything, you get forever. That's why you get 20 million people wanting you money. What you want are the new ones because COVID is new. COVID has the more grants. So this eliminates a lot of things. And when you put that in, and I have members too, I'll show you that video I have, and I just put it up on the site probably this morning about how to search like this. And actually not only how to search, but how to get alerts every day so that if some county or nonprofit or something comes up with something, a new grant, you're going to be the first one in line because you're going to get an email in the morning about that. So you'll be one of the few people that'll be the first in line because, see, the problem with the COVID stuff, it's limited. A lot of these programs are unlimited. It's going to go forever until people quit applying. But the COVID stuff is limited, so that's why you have to be there early and often, and stuff like that. So that's important to do. So that's how to find other places to do it. And again, if you remember Let's Go Help, I have 50 sources that I'll send you. A lot of these fat cats, a lot of private stuff, all kinds of different sources that I have that you could start applying for money. Now here's the other thing too. I think you have to realize, and what I believe in. So I'm biased, and remember, there's millions of ways to get through life. Nobody has a magic way that works for everybody. We have to find out what works for ourselves because we're all different. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different capabilities. We all come with different tools and stuff like that. So you have to find that. The way you narrow that down is by finding stuff that doesn't work, and then because otherwise you're going to sit there, oh, there's a grant somewhere and I just can't find it. No, I'm telling you where they are. So if they don't work for you now, you have to have an option. You have to always be thinking, okay, what am I going to do next? Because if you think a grant is everything, if you don't get that, you're out of business. That is wrong. It may not be in business the way you want to do it, so that means you have to now be creative, because you can't get that 50 grand or 10 grand or whatever. So how else are you going to do that? So you have to change the objective a little bit of your business. And to me, the one thing to think about when you're at that stage is getting money from a future customer. Okay, now what we're doing, and normally, okay, here's a business plan, and here's what I got to do, and here's what I should do, and you say, this is all the money I need to do this, to go out and get customers. See, you're spending money. You're building things before you have customers. Then you hope you're going to get customers. Now, I did that twice, and both of those businesses failed. And I had an MBA to do that. And after I had 2 failures, I said, shit, I failed. Well, first of all, what was great about the failure is that I thought I couldn't show my face anywhere if I was a failure. Nobody cares if you fail. So when I found out that nobody cares, everybody's so involved in their own life, they don't care about you. And I said, well, that failing is not bad. So what happened to me? I was getting money to pay for accountants, lawyers, and all that kind of stuff. And when I went on a business, who won? The accountants, the lawyers, the people I got the furniture from, the marketing guy, all this kind of stuff. Now, what I do, and I've done this for the last couple of businesses I started, is I don't spend any money. I just figure out how to get customers without spending money. And there's so many ways to do that now, more than ever. You can get customers without money through social media. It takes effort, yes. And the people who sell marketing are going to tell you, no, don't worry, just give me $50,000 and you'll have all the customers. If somebody says to that, say, okay, I'll give you half the money. And they'll go away because they can't promise you that. There's no way. And so if you lose, you're screwed. Because you don't have the money, right? And so you're going to borrow it or whatever. So you're right. If you get it for a grant and piss away 50 grand, who cares? It's not yours anyway. And you got a $50,000 education. That's like going to MBA school. I went to MBA school, then I had to unlearn all the stuff they taught me in an MBA. So that's why I have another report, for Let's Go Help members. I'll show you how to take your idea and just concentrate on getting customers first. So, crowdfunding is a thing. That's where people send you the money before they have the product. Now that's cool, right? And another thing is that, especially with social media, people have customers that are interested in similar products. So you can go find people that have customers that you think would be good, your good customers, make a deal with them. Hey, if you sell this, and we give them a deal on the being the first to get this service or whatever, and you split the money with that person who has the mailing list or the followers or whatever the heck it is. And there's dozens and dozens of ways like that. You hook up with a nonprofit organization to sell your stuff. This is before you even make it, or if it's a service, so you make it. It doesn't matter. You have it already. And see, nonprofits could get $10,000 a month free advertising on Google. So that's free advertising. So you could waste that free money trying to figure out what works on Google instead of you spending $100,000 trying to figure out what works on Google, right? So there's many ways to do that. And I got a separate report for that. So I got two reports, one for finding all the money sources that are available. So ask me for that for starting a business. And then the other one, how to start a business with no money. And that's available for members. You're not a member, I gave you enough secrets already. But no, there's no magic to it. It's just being creative. Go to your business development centers, have them brainstorm with you on that. And that's another thing. If you're turned down like an SBA loan or something like that, call your local SBDC and go over it with them. Hey, why do you think I was turned down? Okay, what could I do differently? How can I fix it up? See, these are free consultants, and you go to Americas, AMERICAS, and then SBDC.org, Americas, AMERICAS SBDC, 2 words together, no dots, anything in the middle, and then .org, O-R-G. Find your local office, make an appointment, and go over that. Why? Because maybe you just need some advice on arranging your debt and stuff. Now that's available free too. Don't go on the Google. If you Google any of this stuff, you're going to get people going to get money from it. So here's what to do if you want help with that debt relief. You go to HUD.gov, and in there you put counseling. And when you get there, you'll see a map of the United States within HUD.gov and all the counseling services that are free to help with your debt and all this kind of thing, credit and whatever. And they do this for free because they get grants from the government, okay? And that's important. Now somebody just popped up on me. So that's free. So you work on fixing up the debt problems if you can, and you get an expert to do it, and you don't go Google and trying to find out about it because there's free experts available. You contact your small business development center and say, hey, why do you think I was turned down for this business loan? Then you start finding other grants and other sources, and then you start thinking about alternative ways that you could start businesses without money. I mean, or the worst case is you find somebody already makes this product and you sell it online as a distributor for free and figure out how to sell it without spending any money. That way you don't have to worry about the product either. So there's just too many ways to do that. And be in business and make more money than you ever thought imaginable, and not have to go into debt, go into get turned down all the time for stuff like that. The important thing is that you keep trying stuff. So if you got turned down by one, that's fine, because now you know there's no magic to applying. You apply it as many places as you can. But keep thinking about, what am I going to do next? Really, plan for failure, because that's most likely going to happen than success overnight.